Hi, I'm Fuzz Townshend. Welcome to episode 9 of Garage Talk Unwrapped.
In this month's episode, we have an exclusive interview with Fuzz Townshend from Car SOS fame. We speak to professional racing driver Will Gibson. We have a documentary from Automechanika from the recent Women in Automotive networking event, and a new feature from Thinkcar UK on an EV battery pack module equaliser. Also, we caught up with David Rees from School of Thought at the British Motor Show and interviewed Autotech and MBRA on his stand, as well as dropping in on WOMAC. To start us off, we celebrate Chicane's impressive 25 years in business.
25 years of Chicane. Congratulations. And tell us what you're doing for your anniversary, Gary.
So we're having a series of events like today here where we're going around the country and inviting 25 guests of Chicane to each event to celebrate our 25th anniversary.
Whose idea was it, Simon?
I have to say it was Gary's idea. So do you want to talk to him about it? No, we've been working with Great British Motor Shows. This is our second year with them. And Steve Bishop, who organises it, decided this year to have 5 signature events. And we just thought that would sound like a really good idea to have people along to say thank you for the people who have helped us and are helping us in our Chicane journey over 25 years.
What I've noticed though is that today we're not just seeing people that are helping you at the moment, we're seeing people that have helped you when you first started. Let's go back 25 years.
Yeah.
Firstly, whose idea was it?
It was a joint decision. So we were both in publishing. And we always wanted to work together. Indeed, Simon and I have known each other quite literally since the day I was born. So we go way, way, way back. And over the years, people would say to us, can you recommend a good PR company? And we'd say, try Tom, Dick or Harry. And they'd say, too big, too small, no technical knowledge. It's a shame you don't do it yourselves. And we didn't think it was right being publishers because we thought it was, I think Simon used a frame, gamekeeper turned poacher and things like that. And I was over in SEMA in Las Vegas, and a company called Pennzoil asked us if we would be interested in finding them a PR company, and I said I think we can do better than that. And we went over to work, we went back to the UK, and we went to see Pennzoil, and Simon said to me, I don't care what we do, but we're never going to get involved in motorsport again. And we won the PR account. Chicane was born on that day, and Simon can talk about the motorsport side of things.
Yeah, well, it lasted about 4 weeks, our good resolve, because Pennzoil, being our first clients, came to us and said, oh, well, next year we're going to be running a 2-car World GT Championship campaign with some Porsches. You will handle the PR side of that for us and the press side of it for us, won't you? And we said, well, of course we will. And since then, we've always had something to do with race cars and motorsport in some way, shape or form. So best of good intentions, as ever, these things never quite work
we've
out.
always said that, we will never let the business get in the way of our friendship. And 25 years later, we're doing something right.
Yeah.
And we're very proud of Chicane. And we know that Chicane has a future after us as well, which is also very exciting. We've had some wonderful clients and friends like you highlighted who are here today. We had a lady here who was our landlord when we first set up Chicane. You know, we've had clients who have since retired, and this is our way of saying thank you to them. And over the years, we have had people who've gone out of their way to help us. And this is just a very small way of saying thank you and recognising them for what they've done.
And obviously we've worked together now for a few years, and you're a high quality company that has a philosophy flowing through it. You can see that. what was the original thinking behind the business? What was the original thoughts? And
well, we always thought that having been on the other side of the fence and having had people send stuff into us, and you kind of pretty instantly know what you think has got quality and merit and what hasn't. And we thought, well, okay, let's just get rid of the stuff that we would never have and try and provide people with stuff that they think is worthwhile, interesting, and is actually worth looking at and hopefully putting into print or onto digital or whatever it happens to be. So, yeah.
And of course, Simon, we then look at, it's okay you two doing it, but then we bring other people into the business. What was your thoughts behind that?
Well, I think inevitably as you grow, you have to bring new people in. The people that we have brought into the business, the most important thing is that, like us, they want to enjoy being in the business and they want to be part of it and they want to have fun, because actually, if you enjoy what you're doing, it's not really work, is it?
No.
And several people who have worked for us and since left are still in the industry, which is lovely. And our backgrounds were first and foremost motorsport, but then of course we grew into the aftermarket. And what was rather different about Chicane was we were from the aftermarket, servicing the aftermarket. We weren't just a PR company from outside. And in the early days, we were a press release writing service, PR.
Yeah.
But now we're a full service marketing agency. We broker deals, we bring clients together, and we introduce people to other people in the industry as well. And it's very gratifying to see what we're doing with Chicane.
I know this may be difficult. When I had you both at the same time and then come to Gary first.
Yeah.
Your proudest moment in those 25 years, the biggest achievement?
I think our biggest achievement is 25 years.
Okay. You now can't say that, so you need to think.
I think we have brought people into the industry and they are still in the industry, which is lovely. We've been through difficult times, COVID and things like that. We didn't know whether our business and other people's businesses would survive, and we were very frugal about the way we behaved, and we've come out of it in a better situation. And I'm proud of the relationships that we've created and the recognition that Chicane has had over the years.
And so you should be, Gary. So
Thank
you
you.
should be. Simon.
Now, go on then.
Well, I think it's quite difficult to look beyond the fact that in 2021 we were voted Industry Supplier of the Year. It hopefully shows that, as Gary says, we must have been doing something right. And the fact that, here we are and we're kind of looking forward to really the next generation of Chicane. And it's, the most important thing, or one of the most important things to us now, is to actually build the company around the people who are going to take it forward. And I think, when we first started the company off, people would go, Chicane, oh yeah, it's Gary or it's Simon. And now, hopefully, it's just Chicane.
It's absolutely right. And we've got some lovely relationships with clients. Some clients come and then come back again, which is also very nice. But when we look at our list of clients, big, small, they're all globally recognized, and every day's a pleasure. We wouldn't be where we are today if it wasn't for our relationship with the media. And we were the media. And our relationship with the trade, press predominantly, but automotive and the other industries that we're moving into now, which is important to mention, is very special. And I think, personalities mean everything, and that's the only way to build relationships. And in this day of digital and technical industries that we're in, you can't beat face-to-face, and that's how you create the relationships that we still enjoy today. And the mindset of the industry has changed. I remember when we first set up Chicane, we were representing a very large spark plug manufacturer, and the other very large spark manufacturer said, you can't walk around with one badge on your chest at Automechanika one day and another badge the next day. And I got that, and they were right, but things are different now. And there aren't very many one product manufacturers around, and people have sell a variety of products and brands into the industry, and we wouldn't survive if we stuck with just one, and now people are doing lots of them, so it's important to stay with that.
But when you first started, you couldn't have imagined what the industry's like now. Well, for example, video interviews. How have you adapted? How have you adapted so much with the industry?
Well, I think you just have to change with the times, see what is new, and try and embrace it. I mean, I think the other thing is that if we feel we're too old to embrace it, then we bring in someone who's younger who can actually do it for us.
Yeah.
And if you take your customers though, don't you? You educate your customers on what people need to be out there.
Yeah, I think so. It's we like to think that we're part of our customers' companies. We're just their marketing arm. Occasionally, we have been known as central marketing rather than just Chicane. And we like that because it means that we're all working as one. You know, a company can say we've got a PR company, they're based in London and their name is Chicane. Yeah. Or they can say, you know, we have Gary, Simon, Steve, whatever on board and they're part of the family. And that's the way to make it work properly.
Well, I think the key is you work on their business while they work in their business.
Yes.
Yep.
For tools and machinery, come to Machine Mart. Experts in our 65 superstores help you choose from the vast range, including air compressors, tool chests, stoves, welders, generators, water pumps, heaters, power tools, and much, much more. Or just order by phone or online. Look out for our money-saving special offers. Our free catalogue contains hundreds of price cuts and great new products. Or visit our website with thousands more specialist products in Machine Mart Extra. Shop in-store, online, or call.
The aftermarket's huge for you, isn't it?
It is. Well, virtually everything I do is all about the aftermarket. I mean, every car that I work on is an old car. So we are talking about deep aftermarket when it comes down to Car SOS or any cars I deal with myself.
And obviously, at the moment, the aftermarket is quite buoyant. Yeah, because the car park's getting older, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah, it is. I think people are hanging on to their cars a little bit now, just waiting to see what nudges forward, waiting to see if prices go down. Which, I mean, we're at the motor show here. There are sort of cars that are brand new electric cars that are under £15,000. So, if that's sort of like the way things are going, maybe more people will start making the leap. But I have an idea that people will hold on to their cars for as long as possible, and I absolutely am an advocate for that as well, because I think running your car for as long as you possibly can is really the greenest thing you can do. It's a great thing to do, and we should be promoting that.
We should. And you've mentioned the big word EV.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot else changing the vehicle other than the way it's powered. And I think some people are forgetting about that, aren't they?
That's right. Still wheel bearings, still tyres, there's still brakes, there's still everything, seats, everything that you've got. You're changing the power source. Other than that, everything is business as usual.
And obviously, you're going to encourage that because that's your forte, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I actually love all kinds of propulsion, so I don't think there's anything to be afraid of. Yeah, things are changing up a little bit, and I think there'll be more changes in the near future. But I think it's a great it's a great moment in time. It's great to be working in the motor industry at this time, because it's like the change from horses to motor vehicles, or from steam to diesel, and all those kinds of things. So we've got a lot going on. There's a lot to take in. Some people are sticking firmly in one camp and don't want to look over the other side of the fence, whereas others are taking a look and enjoying everything that's going on around.
And I think that's the mistake the industry has made at the moment, is you've either got mechanics or technicians. We need to join that gap, don't we? We need to keep both.
Yeah, absolutely. I think people who are dyed in the wool, sort of old school mechanics, ought to take a course and learn how to at least service an EV and so on and so forth. Even if you've got the knowledge, that's a great thing. Even if you never touch one, if you know how to do it and never touch one, it's a great thing to do. I know, don't touch those big red or orange cables.
They're quite dangerous, I believe.
They can be, yeah. I don't even like touching a spark plug lead. I know people that I work with, like Alan Milliard, who can stop a car with his hands on some leaky spark plug leads. I'd be over the other side of the room.
But what I'm noticing is you're still excited, no matter whether you're talking about EV or the ICE engines. Yeah. It doesn't matter to you, does it? You still got that excitement, still got that enthusiasm about vehicles.
They will all be old one day. So and it will be great to see what enthusiasts are getting into in 5, 10, 15 years. Because let's face it, early Teslas and stuff like that, people are starting to collect those and they're kind of banking on those becoming true out and out classics that are going to be much in demand soon. Whether they will, I don't know, but. If I were sort of like looking at a 10 to 15-year-old Tesla, I'd be like, okay, squirrel that away in the garage. It might be an investment.
So what would you say now to garage owners? What would your message be to them?
To garage owners, I would say be broad-minded. Don't narrow your business, because there are customers out there, people driving cars, who still need garage services. And as their cars come towards the going out of normal manufacturer and dealer servicing centres, they are going to want good, qualified, knowledgeable technicians. So instead of closing your minds down, open them up and bring the customers with you.
And that's only half your message for garage owners, isn't it? You've got a strong message for them.
Okay, so I think that garage owners should open up their businesses a little. If you've got a shop, you do a promotion on, it might be cakes, might be this, biscuits, whatever you've got. You open it up, you put a little bit of a tasting dish on the top of the counter. Everybody go, oh, that's nice. I'll have some of that. As a garage owner, you can do the same. Just on a Saturday morning, open up, or on a day that's not so onerous. Open the garage up, offer free teas and coffees, and then let people see what you do. Have a little chat. Just open up for an hour. Do that kind of thing, so people in your community can come down and see what's going on and see what you do. So there's stuff like that. Also, think about recruiting more widely. I believe that one of the first Asian background women MOT testers has just been appointed.
Yeah.
That is surely 50 or 60 years too late. Come on, what's going on? Look with a slightly wider vision. Let's not be narrow. Let's not be standing at the back of our workshops looking out of the little pinprick of light that is the front door. Let's open them up, open them wide, and welcome people in.
But also, when we were talking off camera earlier, we both feel that we don't talk ourselves up enough in this industry, do we?
Well, that's true. I mean, let's face it, if you are working on a modern day car, or even an old car, you are a truly gifted person, because I don't see everybody up and down their streets just doing a quick job on their car and then going out in it. They can't. They don't know how they work. So, as part of the motor industry, if you're working in that garage, you know how those cars work. You're a clever person. You are as clever as the people that went to university or stayed in the sixth form or so on and so forth. You are a clever person. So start being proud of what you do and talk yourself up, because let's face it, if you catch a plane, somebody's fixed that plane, and you'll go on your holiday on it. The captain of the plane is relying on you, and so everybody's reliant on the regime that fixed that particular vehicle, a flying vehicle. A car is on the road. You're sending a car out onto the road. You are that same person. The safety of those people is in your hands, and you need to be able to tell people that that's the case. And then they won't say, well, there's nothing else for you but the motor industry. Actually, first choice should be, for a lot of people, the motor industry. We're not all sort of like loudmouths like me, but a lot of people can go into the motor industry and make a huge difference and have a very satisfying career.
You love this industry, don't you?
I do, yeah.
And so many people do. And like you say, you're not a loudmouth, you're very passionate, you've got a constructed argument, but we need more people like you, don't we, promoting? Because we can't do it on our own. We need everybody shouting about this industry and how good it is and how important it is.
Yeah, can I tell you, what I didn't think of when I left school was about money. I didn't think about money. It's not that I had loads of money or anything like that, or came from a wealthy family. I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to fix buses because I like buses, and that's what I wanted to do. And I know there's a lot of people in the motor industry who have that mind. They're kind of fixated on this on these vehicles, and they want to get their hands on them, and that's all they're thinking about. It's only later that people start thinking about the financial rewards and so on and so forth. But it's not necessarily about the money. I'm not talking to garage owner or giving garage owners an excuse to not pay their staff well here. What I'm saying is that a lot of people go into this with a passion, and that passion should be fostered, but it also ought to be rewarded well. And so there's got to be some gentle steps where the motor industry goes, listen, we are doing a great job. We're doing magnificently out here. We're keeping you safe, keeping you on the road, keeping you getting to and from work. So you're going to have to pay us a little more attention, and may have to pay a little more for the jobs as well.
Exactly. We need more in the industry, but the industry needs to give more back as well.
Exactly. It's a full-on circle.
So what project are you working on at the moment?
Well, for Car SOS, would you like me to tell you exactly what we are doing?
Car SOS, go on.
We are working on not telling you, because you're going to have to watch series 13 once we've done it. I can tell you though, at the moment we have a couple of Japanese cars, an English car, and I can't remember what the other one is. But yeah, so that's all we've got. If we had handed back any of the cars, I could have told you what they were. But I can't do that at the moment because we haven't handed any back. Personal projects, I've just bought a lovely little 1927 Austin 7 Chummy, which is a little like driving a pram. It's not much bigger, but actually I had an Austin 7 Special which was geared up for fast road use, which was great, but it was only a two-seater. And me getting into it was a bit like one of Cinderella's ugly sisters trying to get into the glass slipper.
Wow.
So the Chummy, despite its tiny size, can carry myself, my wife, and our three little kids in the back.
Wow.
And I don't even have to put any butter on my sides to get into it. So that's, but it's taken a little bit of fettling to get it on the go. But it's a good car.
That's a good challenge. I've got a challenge for you. All the Car SOS presenters have to get in that vehicle.
Now you see, that would be a good thing. What, in the Chummy?
Yeah.
In the Chummy, they'll just flatten it. Not doing that. I like it too much. I don't want to be cruel.
No. Brilliant.
Mechanical sympathy, that's what that's called.
the aftermarket's massive for the industry you're in, isn't it?
Yes, you know, in the racing world, you know, we all use automotive products, brakes, fluids, everything, consumables, and you know, in a race series where it's so expensive, anything we can do in the aftermarket world to try and help us in terms of sponsorship or even just products to help us run our cars. You know, we do a lot of racing. We do 6 races a weekend, so we use a lot of everything up and can always need the help we can.
And I think these days it's not sponsorship, it's partnership, isn't it? It's a better way of putting it, because you're looking to help them, they're looking to help you.
Yeah, so, you know, we need oils, like lubricants, bits like that. Most of the guys that have sponsors, be it from companies like Liqui Moly, a lot of them end up getting free oils, free lubricants, anything you can get, you know. It's very expensive, and especially with how expensive modern products are, any help we can get is brilliant.
And then obviously you carry their logo, so they get exposure as well, don't they? Because, like I say, it's helping each other, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, we have social media channels that we try and promote. We've also been on the ITV4 British Touring Car package over the last couple of years, so there's a lot of exposure, even at the track. Our race series is very friendly paddock as well, so we allow people to come in and sit in the cars, and it's just something you don't get in other forms of motorsport, so there's a lot of exposure to brands.
And one thing I noticed is that you say you're still a bit of an undiscovered secret.
Yes.
Aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a big sport now. A lot of people know about BTCC.
Yeah, so our Legend series has been going for 30 years. I actually went to the very first race at Brands Hatch 30 years ago.
You don't look old enough, sir.
You know, it's a lot of rest and not a lot of stress, I think, maybe. But yeah, we've been supporting the British touring cars, and that's just huge for us. For a small race series in the UK, it's brilliant. And you know, Legends are a global series, so the possibilities are endless. You know, we're trying to find sponsorship to try and go over to America to race in the World Finals. And you know, for brands that want to try and reach out of our own shores, it would be a big thing, hopefully.
And how do you work with these companies? Are you available for them to go and use for open days, etc.?
Yeah, so so our sponsor last year was Electric Centre Bracknell. We give free tickets to lots of the events. We then, at the end of the year, we take the race car into their showroom so they can have an open day. We spend a day there just letting customers sit in it, feel what it's like. Just try and get people. I mean, they're so small and unique, these cars. Every time someone sees one, they're very impressed and they want to know more about it.
And you're also bringing people from the industry together, aren't you, these days at the tracks? Because if you're inviting people into your paddock, you never know who you're meeting there, do you? So people can actually do business while having a nice day out. Yeah,
definitely. You know, we've got brands like KCL that sponsor a couple of cars in the series. So there's sponsors, there's owners of the companies there. So you can do small connections, and especially with our own sponsors, everyone's invited into your and they can all talk and discuss, and we will introduce companies that we know will be linked to one another or could help one another. And certainly with Electric Centre, where they offer like all electrical supplies, everybody needs electrical supplies, so it's really good, and they've done quite well off the back of sponsoring us. They've had a lot of pickup and a lot of business.
Georgia from WOMAC at the British Motor Show. You're here today, tell us what you're doing.
So we are here as part of the Driven Women group. Our aim is to encourage young girls and women to consider careers in automotive. There are so many opportunities. It's not just the desk jobs. Girls could be engineers, they could be designers, they could work in the paint shop, they could be in PR and comms. Every department has a place for women in automotive.
And how is your message being received?
Amazing, absolutely amazing. Not everyone has, most of the people we've spoken to have not considered automotive, but it really is such a fun industry. I think we might have converted a few young girls.
And that's the aim, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's to encourage people and tell. So, do you think the industry as a whole needs to promote itself and what it's good at?
I think every industry needs to, and the automotive industry is no exception.
Yeah. And obviously you're here as WOMAC as well, and you do a lot for charity, don't you? Tell us about your charity work as well.
So WOMAC was founded in 1979 when a really talented racing driver was diagnosed with cancer in 78. He spent the last year of his life promoting awareness of cancer, raising money, and some women in the automotive industry were really inspired by his work. So they set up WOMAC, and they had a ladies' luncheon, which I think raised about £100 and something, which is fantastic. I'd love to do that now. But over the years, WOMAC has grown, and we've captured the imagination and the support of the entire automotive industry. We have a fundraising party every year, and we tend to donate to smaller charities. They are always nominated by WOMAC supporters or patrons or the committee, so it always really means something. We don't get paid for what we do. Everything that we raise is given to our charities. We're really proud of the work that we do.
Hi, I'm Alistair Hobbs of Human Results, HR and Employment Law Consultancy. We pride ourselves in providing pragmatic, bespoke commercial advice for all of your employment law needs.
Hi, I'm Alex and I'm the Marketing Director for Messe Frankfurt UK, but you might know us better as Automechanika. And we are here today because the automotive industry is experiencing probably the most exciting time it's been through in the last 100 years. We're set to see more innovation in the next 10 years than we have in the last century. But despite this huge exponential rate of growth in technology, we have the highest number of recruitments we've ever had. So the automotive industry is an incredible place to work. You can create a really prosperous and exciting career for yourself within automotive, but you don't have to just take my word for it, because these experts in the industry will tell you what they think about it.
I recently completed my level 3 mechanics. It's tough, but there's good support out there. I went to North London garages, I had a good boss, and people are pushing. Females are out there, we can do the job, we can fit the parts, and there's a lot more available to support us now.
So what I love most about the motor industry is the sheer amount of job opportunities there are available. People think that it could just be in a workshop, but there's over 200 different job roles available in the sector.
I'm still really new to the sector, but I decided to join the sector because I was looking for a challenge. I've worked in inclusion and diversity in the energy sector for quite a while, and I wanted a challenge that meant I could make something great for the future. Working with the IMI, where they're looking not just at diversity and singulars, they're looking at intersectionality and also making an actual action and impact for the future and for today, was something that drives me every day. I want everyone to have a space, I want everyone to feel like they belong, and the IMI is working to do that.
The thing I love the most about the motor industry has to be there is so many different opportunities that you don't expect, and there is a huge world of tyres, automotive components, just anything out there waiting for you, and it is great to be able to access it at any point.
Working in the industry has provided me with such a variety of opportunity. Starting off in a technical role as a vehicle technician, I then went on to MOT testing and then into consultancy, and I'm an author of textbooks, and I'm now in a policy role working with decision makers in Westminster. I think the motor industry can give you such a varied career. The ceiling is as high as you want it to be.
For someone that hadn't thought of this industry as a career path, I would say I was very much in the same boat. I kind of stumbled upon it really, and actually I'm really pleased that I did. Skills are transferable. It's not what you think. Gone are the days of a greasy mechanic under an oily bonnet. It's about, future skills, digital coding, communications. It's so much bigger than you think. I'd say just give it a chance and take a leap.
Me about the future of the automotive industry is the range of different skills and talents it's going to bring. the jobs of yesterday are not the same as today, they're certainly not going to be the same as tomorrow, and it's so exciting to bring new people and diverse talent into the industry.
If you're considering a career in the motor industry, just do it. There's so much transferable skills. It doesn't matter what your skill set is, whether that's marketing, finance, whether it's service advisor role. You don't necessarily need to be a technician to be in this industry. There's so many options out there to do whatever is your skill set.
Everything really. I love the interaction with the customers, the interaction with the parts supplier, the supply chain, from the beginning the car comes in the garage to when it goes, all that process.
I would really recommend women to join the automotive industry, especially if they're nervous about joining because they don't have as much vehicle knowledge as such, but you don't need that. You will be fully supported, and as long as you're hardworking, you will thrive.
The thing that excites me the most about the automotive industry is how much social media can change it. It gives a whole new demographic, a new voice in the industry, and so much more reach.
I think what I like about the industry is being able to fulfil the customers' expectations. They come in often quite upset or feeling anxious. Obviously we deliver on the customer service, but also the repair of the vehicle. So when they see their vehicle like fully repaired, they're just like, wow, they're blown away. So it's really good satisfaction that you've done a good job.
What I love most about the industry is I work predominantly in sales, is the highs of sales, the speed of sales and the pace of sales, and that's what I love most.
And talking to our lovely customers.
It's the best field to learn and implement your software skills. I was a software engineer as I started, so it's the best for you to learn technology every day.
Well, I've always loved cars since I was little, and I think it's just that development of the technology going forward. So going from ICE, now going to PHEV, and then going to batteries. So I think that development of technology is just really interesting.
My favourite memory of working in the motor industry was the first day I opened my workshop nearly 20 years ago. I opened the workshop, I had my tools, and somebody came in and asked if I'd repair their car. Not only did I repair their car, but they came back to me as a workshop for nearly 2 decades. And knowing that I've got the power to fix things and be able to use my own skills and tools to make a difference for other people has been incredibly empowering.
I think about what excites me about the future of the automotive sector right now is that there's a real drive on equity, diversity and inclusion. So we're going to get so many different types of people into the sector, and that is going to really evolve the sector as a whole, and it's a really exciting time and place to be right now and in the future.
The thing that excites me the most is bringing more people into the motor trade, whether female or male, it doesn't matter. No matter what they want to do, marketing, advertising, mechanics, anything they want to do, get them all in. Let's see how many we can get. That's my job for 2024. I think the favourite memory I have of being in the automotive industry is probably a slightly silly one, is when we went to one of our amazing training centres in Europe and I was allowed to polish all the dints out of a car. That was brilliant fun. It's probably not what you're looking for, but this industry is so much fun.
What I love the most about working in the automotive industry is how inclusive it is. And my company, LKQ, also have an initiative where they want 25% of women by 2025, which is called PAVE, People Adding Value Every Day. And I just love how supported we are, and yeah.
For me, personally, apprenticeship is the way forward. It's the base of everything. You get your apprenticeship, you get the right training, the right support, the right qualification, and it sets you up for your future to be able to move on and learn.
What I love most about the motor trade is the highs and the lows. I love the roller coaster of it. Your highs are up here, take your lows on the chin, and it's a fantastic industry to be in.
I think I would say to somebody who hadn't thought about this industry for a career, then don't push it out.
It's an amazing industry, and I think people forget about it because they always think that the people who maybe don't do as well in school are the people who would come into this industry. But realistically, we need people who are intelligent, who are smart, who are ambitious, and there's so many different opportunities in this industry, and you can succeed so highly that never push it away, always give it a shot.
So what excites me most about the motor industry is the opportunities we have with our brand. We're looking at opening up more sites across the southeast of the country. We also have lots of marketing opportunities that are coming up with partnerships with local brands and suppliers. Social media is really taking off, and we're seeing a lot of influx coming through that. So there's a lot of different opportunities available for us.
So for me, my favourite memory I've had in the automotive industry, I've only been here 18 months, but I've got many. I think one of the things that's really opened my eyes is just the footprint we have in UK and Ireland, and how the partnership's actually really exciting because there's some really interesting themes we're working on. There's a lot of events, there's a lot of opportunity to meet people from all walks of life, and actually I've come to understand that my experience outside of the sector is really valued, and I do have something to offer, and that's been really exciting.
I recently completed my level 3 apprenticeship at North London Garages. For me it was hard. I'm a mum, I work part-time at a garage and I own my own business, but I would say do it. Do it. It's not as hard as you think, there's a lot more support, and just go for it.
So I'm quite new to the industry. I've only been in the industry about 7 months. My background was I grew up with cars. I was at car garages and I just quite like them. I follow F1. It's just quite fun, and yeah, so coming into the automotive industry felt quite natural for me, and I already have a little bit of knowledge, so it was like I could build on that, so I felt more confident going and building a career in something I had a little bit of knowledge towards.
I love most about the motor industry is the diversity, the no days the same, no customers the same, no complaints the same, no vehicles the same. Every day is a different day. It's just for people who are passionate about what they do. It's a great industry to work in.
For someone who hasn't considered a job in the motor sector, I would say do. There's no point cutting out a whole sector just because you don't think you have the skills. I can promise you the skills that you have, whether that be from university, college, customer service role, they are easily transferable into the motor sector. And as I said before, this is like a lifelong career journey. It's something that you can get stuck into. It's ever evolving, so you're going to have loads of things you can get your hands on, try, do new things. And it's fun as well. Why wouldn't you want a job role in a sector that's always going to be changing? And there's so much coming out as well with obviously EVs. It's also becoming more of an eco-friendly sector, which is really cool as well. So yeah, it's a lifelong one.
It's constantly changing, so we've now got EV cars coming in, maybe even hydrogen in the future. And now that's more training courses, but that's more knowledge and that's more fun. And it's a little bit different, new paints every time as well, different techniques and stuff, so it's really cool.
What excites me about the future of automotive is the emphasis everyone's putting on people. So we're really starting to put people first within the industry, and you're seeing the results from that. You're seeing the benefit of treating people well and being progressive in the way you work with people.
I would say to somebody that hadn't thought about joining this fantastic industry to really explore the job opportunities. There's lots of different avenues to pursue within the automotive industry. So you don't need to think it's all about in the garage, in the accident repair centre. There's so many more opportunities, and there's lots of opportunity for career progression as well.
Fantastic, creative, vibrant, engaging, family, innovative, dynamic, collaborative.
For tools and machinery, come to Machine Mart. Experts in our 65 superstores help you choose from the vast range, including air compressors, tool chests, stoves, welders, generators, water pumps, heaters, power tools, and much, much more. Or just order by phone or online. Look out for our money-saving special offers. Our free catalogue contains hundreds of price cuts and great new products. Or visit our website with thousands more specialist products in Machine Mart Extra. Shop in-store, online or call.
Dave, British Motor Show, what a show you're having.
Yeah, it's our fourth one. So we were here right at the start when Andy Entwistle brought it back because it disappeared off the calendar for many, many years. We were approached by Andy because he's seen us on LinkedIn and said, hey, what are you doing? And then said, oh, do you want to come to the show? Gave us our first stand, which was in the main hall, a little booth. We brought the sim, my son's racing sim down, and we just rocked it, and we had them queuing up around the aisles. And this is our fourth one, and look what we've got this year.
Well, Dave, it's now 2:45, and I've not had a chance to talk to you. So you've always been busy. So you're actually being really well received, aren't you, by the public as well?
I think so. I think the public loves us. We've got our special needs piece and our junior one behind you with Sue, my wife runs. We're doing things like virtual reality spraying. We've got airbrushing over there. We have to put things on that the kids like, so that we can talk to mums and dads and talk to the older kids. And that's what we've been doing. And this is, as I say, it's the fourth one. This is the best first day we've ever had. I think a lot of it's down to the fact that Andy Entwistle and the team gave us this amazing space for us to work in. And it's a big family event, and we want to do more family events next year.
But also, a lot of the industries on your stand, you brought people together.
Yeah, and that's all part and parcel of the fact that we represent the whole industry, not just body and paint, not just independent garages. We've got STEM behind us; they're doing their little bit. We've got a lot of people from people like equipment suppliers like Hickley's. They're corporate partners of ours. So, they're on the stand, and I think that's what we're trying to do, is to bring it together, and we have to do that. There's no one organisation that can fix this thing on its own. It's just too big. So the more people we can get involved, the more people that do a little bit will make a difference.
And when I spoke to you at the UK Garage and Body Shop event, that was the message you had to me. However, it's okay saying it, you're actually actioning that, aren't you?
Yeah, we are doing it. There's lots of people talking, lots of people, and that's the thing that potentially annoys me, is there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of people now getting on the bandwagon of saying, we've got problems. We've known we've had problems for 20 years. We've been trying to come up with a solution to the start of that problem. We're not the solution to all of it.
No.
But we have to start somewhere, and it's a bit like, we have to plant the seeds so that we grow the trees.
Yeah.
And that's our job, and that's the bit that I need to focus on. So when I first started school, I thought I was trying to do everything. I was trying to cure the ills of the world, and one of us non-execs, Gavin White from Autotech, said to me, Dave, you're just doing your head in. Focus on what you want to do, and that's promote to schools and young children. And that's what we've done really successfully in the 4 years. And that's where we are, and that's as you say, planting the seed with the youth.
Yeah.
So we look at youngsters from 9, 10, 11, right up to 17 or 18 that are still in education, and they just want to know more.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm glad you've gone on that side of things. That's we know the problems in the industry, Dave.
Yeah.
Me and you spoke about them at length a couple of months ago. But the fact of applying that solution now to the children of this world and the reception you get, that must be so heartening for you.
It is heartening. I mean, it's hard work. I thought I was semi-retired.
Nothing's easy, Dave.
I thought I was semi-retired, God help me. I made a promise to my wife. We've been married 2 years now, and I told her I was semi-retired. She held that against me for the rest of my life. But we do need help. We can't do this on our own. We need some help from the industry. We need the industry to get behind us. I'll take this stand. I know we get a very good deal from Andy.
Yeah.
But getting all this here, it's cost us £8,000 to get here to do this for 4 days. But that's cheap as chips for 4 days.
It is, Dave. The children have been talking to you.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be able to do it in here.
Yeah.
That's what you must be proud of.
Oh yeah, definitely proud of that. The kids approach us. You've seen how I am around the youngsters. And we got lots of information. Scan the website, go and have a look at the website, do this, and that's where we are when we get the encouragement from the kids, and they go away. It's like when we go to schools, and we go into a classroom, and we get a feedback from the STEM to say your session was really, really well received, and we've got 3 or 4 kids that want to be engineers, or they want to be technicians, or they want to paint cars for a living. We do get that buzz, but the unfortunate part is we may not see the end result. So how we struggle to measure that end result, which is something that we will get to a point where we will be able to get some measure behind it, but that's where we get questioned by the industry. Well, what effect are you having?
Well, I don't think you need to question yourself, Dave, what you're doing. And if you've seen the final results or not, be proud of what you're doing, because I've seen this stand today. It's been amazing.
Thanks, mate. That's brilliant. Brilliant.
How's the employment in your area of the industry?
Yeah, so I mean, the employment opportunities are there within the body repair sector. If you speak to a lot of repairers, they've got vacancies for either panel beaters, painters, MET, just about all aspects, all disciplines within the industry. But there is a serious skills shortage. So there's an ageing workforce out there, and there's just not the new people coming through, which is why I'm here to support. The MBRA are here to support School of Thought and encourage young people to come into the industry.
And do you think the industry is promoting itself well enough to tell people what it should be in automotive?
We're certainly trying to. I think the difficult part is actually getting in very early to the schools. I think a lot of schools are encouraging pupils to go towards, academic side of things, into university, etc., rather than that emphasis like it used to be, going towards the craft skills, which without the country will grind to a halt, as I'm sure you appreciate.
And obviously you're supporting School of Thought, so you're impressed with what Dave's trying to achieve?
Absolutely. Dave's very passionate about what he does with School of Thought, and the rest of his team behind him too, and quite rightly, it's much needed.
But without people like Dave, your industry's going to suffer.
Yeah, absolutely. Without those young people coming forward, I mean, the technology on vehicles is increasing so rapidly that we need the young people coming through that are, they've got the IT technology behind them, to bring that into our sector, and the aging workforce that we have, some struggle, some of the older demographics struggle with some of the technology that's there, so we need those young people to help out.
We're supporting School of Thought. How's the British Motor Show for you?
So it's been great. What the School of Thought do is absolutely amazing. The issues we've got in retaining talent and bringing talent into the industry currently is absolutely shocking. So what School of Thought are doing to fill the funnel from the top end with the school leavers and people in school. It's great trying to promote them into the different types of roles that we have in the industry that haven't been as sexy, so to speak. So think about the body repair, MET aspects and paint. They've not been the best advertised routes that we could go into. So doing a lot of work here with them for that. Within Autotech, we're really passionate about bringing young people through. We run an intern scheme. So we take people that have completed their level 3 qualification or a level 2 qualification, and then we sign them up with us, and then we like to try and place them into the industry to do a 6-month internship. So it's about taking those people that have now got this massive pool of knowledge and stopping them going from flicking burgers with it or stacking shelves in Tesco's. It gives the ability to stay in the industry, and retaining that talent is absolutely key to the future.
And Autotech have been at the head of recruitment for quite a while now in the industry. What is happening? Why has the industry changed? You must be finding it more challenging than ever to attract the talent now, or the right talent. Have we run out of people, or are we just not run ourselves correctly?
So have we run out of people? I don't know whether we've run out of people. What we've done is we've seen a 21-year high in vacancies in the automotive industry, and interestingly 18% of that was in the heavy vehicle or the commercial vehicle industry. There's been a fair few changes that have taken place. So as governments have changed and as Brexit took impact, so we've got net migration. You take things like the bus industry and the heavy industry, there's been an awful lot of retirement, and there's not been the infilling of young people to take those places. So what we're suffering with is a gap between, we've got young people, but there aren't the 25 to 35-year-olds in the industry because they weren't brought in because there was enough people, but they've now retired and gone. So that's one of the big changes that we see. When it comes to other aspects of it, a lot of MOT work can be seasonal in certain cases. So within COVID, there was that extension to MOTs. So people were having 6 months where they didn't have to MOT the car because you couldn't come out and do it. So what we're seeing is big gaps where there aren't any MOTs, and then big gaps where there are MOTs now. And within the temporary recruitment aspect of life, there's kind of that flow that we're riding, and we're supporting the industry to make sure that those MOTs can get done. Because at the end of the day, if you own a garage and you can't fulfill the MOT requirement that someone's booked in with you, they're going to go somewhere else, and guess what? They don't ever come back.
No. And obviously, you run the courses that you do. Are they now busier than ever? And I mean, you're banging the same drum. Get trained up, get trained up. And then they're busier than ever because people are realising they need to go on them.
So what we're finding is there's an absolute move towards future technologies. So EV, hydrogen, there's a big move towards people wanting to be trained for those, because they're now seeing that those vehicles have been on the road for a long time. The Prius as a hybrid has been on the road for 17 years. And then when you think the Nissan Leaf has been around for a long time, we're on it's kind of like its 3rd generation now. Sales of EVs is continuing to increase. As much as the government have shifted the goalposts from 2030 to 2035 with when you must be sort of net zero aspect, there's that side, but then there's also the side of the fact that the manufacturers have to sell a certain amount of net zero vehicles before they can sell ICE related vehicles as well. So there is a big push towards that. The other thing that we're finding is that people are really wanting to kind of understand the new technology. So I may not be working on it now, but I can see it coming, so I need to be part of what happens there. We're also finding, so there's the react that people have to do if you want to do recovery on the side of the road. So we've got lots of people coming to us because that's a bigger thing now, that it's not just the big national ones that do it. There are lots of like littler independent ones that are doing recovery.
Well, like the garage almost nowadays, to set up a garage, they're going to do recovery, aren't they?
Absolutely, and you want to keep your customer, so you want to be able to do everything you possibly can for that customer. So so we're seeing some big trends in people needing to be trained and qualified.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channels, and we'll see you next month.